Hello guys, I was just on YouTube and apparently people are saying something about Rexy and Sue battle. So let's get this straight. I'm going to tell you who wins by compiling feats and other things they do. And I will determine by who would win and who would die. Okay, so in order to figure out who will win, we're going to compile some data about different things. First, we're going to do, in this, we're going to have like somewhat of a category. Hold on, I got to create that category. Okay, it took me a moment to find this stuff. Okay, we got a pretty basic thing here. Now it's going to do that. We're going to want to flip it. Flip. Yeah, we got Rexy's side right here, and we got Sue's side right here. Now that right there means nothing, you know. We're going to put those categories into their proper section. Those are all the things that we'll be comparing. Feats, I put feats on there is because feats will be important for, like, experience. Because, honestly, Rexy is probably going to need some sort of feats to back her up. This is real life versus fiction. Because if we didn't really count in feats, Rexy's been obliterated several times, but comes back. And feats is definitely going to be something important. So, let's start off with build. How build works, you know, it's size, basically how it is built, the size, and weight. And in order to do that, okay, 8.4, and, not gonna do, you know what, I'm gonna use trusty ChatGPT, because it can answer several factors at once. Now, I couldn't think of much besides overall build, body weight, or whatever. Oh, wait. Rexy and Sue are both famous Tyrannosaurs. Wait. Rexy from... Wait, body shape is portrayed as a robust build and muscular appearance, powerful head. Hold on, we're gonna need to be backed up. Ape. Says they weigh about the same, but Jurassic World likes to do their thing. So, let's compare them, right?
Here's the definition of sue. Institute legal proceedings against
a person or institution, typically for redress.
Telling Sue story part 2. Well, yeah. So, I don't know really how to compare both equally, but yeah. So, would it be like odd equal? Because I feel like Sue would weigh more, but it looks like Rexy holds more of a bulkier build. And build, I like to just do both in weight and overall appearance, whatever. So I don't really know how to compare it that equally. Because on one hand, Rexy feels, when you look at Rexy, she's more somewhat bulkier, right? Yeah, when you look at Rexy, she's overall bulky or something like that. Not really bulky, but like, you know what I mean. She has muscle. There's actually no weight. Yeah. And then we look at...
According to Wikipedia, Sue,
Officially designated FMNHPR 2081, is one of the largest, most extensive, and best preserved Tyrannosaurus rex fossils ever found, at over 90% recovered by bulk.
Yeah. So this is what... I mean, I know what some things look like. It's kind of hard, because on one hand, Rexy... Because I'm pretty sure they make their dinosaurs lightweight. Build. Weight and... yeah. So, let's just get that over with. I'm giving weight to Sue. I feel like Sue would win in build. Now, that might not be 100% accurate, but hopefully the others are accurate. Our next step is armor, which what I mean by armor is like durability or whatever. Now, we got to take into account, like, how fast can they recover from attacks? Which Sue and other accurate tyrannosaurs show signs of like recovery from different bites and other fights. But Rexy, although being somewhat nerfed in my opinion, take the Indominus Rex, which has lots of armor or whatever. Rexy was like knocked to the ground. And in armor, my opinion is how well can it survive attack and how fast can it recover. Most Tyrannosauruses, when they are flipped on their side, they can't get up. But Rexy, she's just been knocked out or whatever. When you see in most battles, like the Indominus Rex or the Giganotosaurus. But she gets right back up after, you know? So I think armor would go to Rexy. Because although Sue does show signs of recovery and all that healing, Rexy can just tank a lot of hits. You know, she just tanks hits. And so Sue has build, because honestly I feel like she has a better overall build, but Rexy takes it in armor. Or hide or whatever. I'm just going to call it armor because why not? She also has that plot armor on her, but we're not going to take that into account because if she had plot armor, that means she'd just win. So Rexy will take account into armor. And then speed, we obviously know that's going to Rexy. She can run up to like 35 miles per hour or something like that. Well, the average T-Rex can only run up to like 12. So no debate in that. Rexy definitely gets speed. Stamina. That's who can keep their fighting longer. Rexy can pursue a jeep for a long time. And let's see. Well, I don't think Sue, so for stamina, I feel like Rexy would win in stamina because like she pursues down like a jeep or whatever. Well, Sue, I feel like she could maintain stamina. I just don't think she's meant for pursuing creatures. She's meant for a one-on-one face battle because the dinosaurs she fought, well, Sue, the dinosaurs she fought, I'm going to assume Sue is a female. The dinosaurs she fought, they defend themselves instead of really running away. So she doesn't really need to fully worry about pursuing an opponent down if it's going to turn around and fight. Unlike Rexy, which most of her opponents, well, not really opponents, but, you know, things she hunts down, usually run away. So I think Rexy is going to have to win in stamina. It looks like everything's going in her side very well, but will she be able to win in agility? Rexy, I haven't really seen her dodge. Well, what I mean by agility is like how fast can you turn and like avoid obstacles. Rexy, she usually just hits everything and other things. And when you take Goji Center, I'm pretty sure he compared Rexy and Sue, and or whatever, if Rexy was in Jurassic World or something. I meant if Sue was in Jurassic World, where she can like turn her body and bite, which she literally popped the raptor like it was a balloon. So I think agility is gonna have to go to Sue. Okay. Now, intelligence, which is going to be very important to see who can display weaknesses first. I feel like they're both intelligent in some way, because most tyrannosaurs, when they're young, they're not really the smartest, but they get smarter as they grow older or something like that through like battle experience. But Rexy, although she's not the strongest, she is quite intelligent. As remember with the Giga, with Jurassic World Dominion, she slammed, whenever she grabbed the Giganotosaurus and pushed it into the Therizinosaurus claws to kill it. And I feel like Rexy does show quite good intelligence and teamwork. I mean, not really every fight she's done with teamwork. There has been a few fights. But yeah. Naturally, below feats, we're going to put experience for, like, battle experience, you know. How well and how much fights have they gone into. So, yeah. So, in my opinion, I feel like it would be like a tie in intelligence. Like they both win in intelligence, in my opinion. Because like on one hand we got Rexy, who can display weaknesses. Well, not really weaknesses, but she's shown somewhat level of intelligence. Like how she used the Therizinosaurus's claws to stab into the thing. Whatever. Don't know if that would be much intelligence, but I'm going to count that in as intelligence, as I don't think any other Tyrannosaur would do that. And she's intelligent enough to not attack things. Like the things that helped her. Because a Therizinosaurus, that's a herbivore, right? A T-Rex would probably attack it, because like it's a herbivore, you know, it's food. But she didn't, you know. So I feel like intelligence would go for both of them, because as a Tyrannosaur grows, there's a few casualties, but as it gets older, they're able to display weaknesses and all that. Well, Rexy's good, is intelligent in using like her surrounding or whatever. So I feel like intelligence would go to both of them. Remember guys, this might not be 100% accurate. I'm just going on my personal experiences and what other videos have said. Okay? This might not be 100% accurate. I'm just trying to clear the debate on who would probably win. And I feel like Goji Center doesn't really add feats. So I had to add in feats because that's definitely going to back up Rexy a lot. That weak bite force and all that definitely will help. Now this one is going to be important. Bite force. Now I think we might know who wins bite force here. In my opinion, it'd probably be Sue, because in my experiences on watching videos and other things, most large carnivores shrug off Rexy's bite. And even if she did have that full Tyrannosaur bite force, the carnivores, you know, they just escape the bite. But Sue, she can just bite, in a few seconds crush. The bones are shattered. Or something like that, you know? So I think Sue wins in bite force or whatever. I'm just calling it bite because I don't feel like writing force. Okay, our next one is weapons. Weapons will be very important to display who has more weaponry, you know, who has more options. I feel like they both win in weapons because really the only thing they can do is use their mouth and throw it in the objects. But also I feel like they both can charge at objects, you know, and try to knock things off balance. Sadly, I won't be able to create any battle analysis or whatever. I won't be able to create any confirmed battles because I don't have the proper animating tools to do it. Well, I probably do. I got stick nodes, I just don't know how to create a dinosaur. I've been looking up for tutorials, but they don't help me at all. It's like, man. So I feel like weapons would go to both, because why not? Hold on. And then after weapons, it is feats. Because this is where this will help out Rexy a lot. Now, we probably don't know a lot about feats for Sue, but she mostly fought like Triceratopses, other T-Rexes, and Ankylosaurs, and maybe Edmontosauruses, which in that Cretaceous time period, they were pretty strong in their own right. But when we go to Rexy, this is where something's going. Remember, this is feats. The whole log breaking thing. Paleontologists say that would break any normal T-Rex legs. So the fact that she's able to stay running after being bit, well, after something that would usually break any other large theropod's legs. And also, yeah. And then she's also, remember with the armor, she shrugs off a lot of attacks. Or whatever, and can get right back up. And the Indominus Rex, that guy is like one of the strongest creatures in the entire franchise. Mosasaurus being pretty much maybe the only thing stronger than him. And maybe D-Rex also might be stronger. Because remember, this is pretty much real life versus, let's see, real life versus fiction. So you have to include things. Now this is kind of hard because we're not looking at a real life perspective. But yeah, like and subscribe to my videos. I'm just trying to clear the debate in my honest opinion. I feel like Rexy would win in feats because honestly she's just done way too much. And she's like an old Tyrannosaur, right? And she's still able to shrug off most attacks. Pretty much. And then she's like in her like 30s or something like that. Which most Tyrannosauruses can't live. Mostly don't live to that age. Or whatever. She's older than most Tyrannosaurs. Which she might die soon. But she's definitely outlived most Tyrannosaurs. Which that's also another incredible feat, I guess. And now experience. Battle experience. Now, I can't say much for Sue, besides she just fights a lot of creatures. I guess, I don't know. But Rexy, her experiences with fighting she has killed pretty much almost every villain in the franchise. The only villain she didn't kill in the franchise was the Spinosaurus, because I'm pretty sure Rexy didn't fight that, because if she did fight that, she wouldn't be in any other occurring movie. And the Indoraptor. And in the Lost World, I don't think there really was a villain that I didn't really see much. I mean, yeah, there were a few battles, but like, don't think it was much. I don't think there's like an actual final battle. You know. So, and then when we go to Sue, she fights more accurate creatures, which an accurate Triceratops would definitely kill a normal Jurassic World Triceratops. Along with the Ankylosaurus. But at the same time, the Indominus Rex was able to tank a Ankylosaurus hit, which I feel like an accurate Ankylosaurus, whenever a real Ankylosaurus would be able to break the Indominus Rex. But still, the Ankylosaur Club broke bulletproof glass. And then Rexy's able to tear through the hide, which also backs her up in feet also. So I feel like experience would go to, don't know if it would be equal. Because like we can't really compare a creature that we don't really have much information about how much it has fought throughout its lifetime or whatever. Can't remember. But by the creatures that were most likely present in its time, we can use that to compare things. I feel like experience would have to go to Rexy. She just is able to fight large carnivores that are bigger than her and stronger than her. I mean, yes, she did need help in the battles, but after all, I feel like she is pretty experienced. I mean, she's literally older than most Tyrannosaurs. She knows more. So, yeah. Experience is going to Rexy. So, Rexy has one in armor, speed, stamina, weapons, feats, and armor, speed, and stamina. Let's see, feats and experience. Well, Sue has one in build, agility, and bite force, and they're both equal in intelligence and weapons. Now, Rexy has a lot more stuff there, since I'm using my personal experience, and I would like for Sue to win, but I don't know so much, because on one hand, we do have Sue, which is durable in her own right, but we got Rexy, who has just shrugged off so many attacks. And yes, in her prime, when she was in Jurassic World or whatever, Jurassic Park to Jurassic World. I guess she was like in her prime in that stage, but still, when we got to like Jurassic World Dominion, she's a pretty old fella. It's like a grandmother, or ever an old lady is able to just get kicked down or whatever by like an adult and just get back up or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just imagine it's like an old lady, just weak, but just able to get back up and continue fighting. Like the Giga was like the adult person, like their 20s, 30s, in their prime. And then Rexy is like an old lady or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that was a bad comparison, but I think you know what I mean. Rexy's capable of being very old, but still able to put up a decent fight. Now, I don't know how well she would shrug off a Sue bite, and I don't know how well Sue would shrug off a Rexy bite. But also, maybe I should also include the weaknesses. Who has more weaknesses? No, probably not. But we will kind of include that. Rexy's pretty much almost blind, but she's still capable of fighting moving targets. You know, she just can't see that well. That's why she has the tendency to bite anything. Well, Sue can see like 3 times better than the average human. So, in my opinion, I feel like a winner would be Sue, but probably like barely, because Sue is backed up by the build, agility, and her bite force. But Rexy is just an experienced T-Rex with feats that most other normal Tyrannosauruses can't do, like breaking a large one that would pretty much cripple any other large Tyrannosaur. And although she can't pop raptors like balloons, she still is powerful in her own right. I rank stuff by no difficulty, easy difficulty, medium difficulty, hard difficulty, and insane difficulty, or whatever. Okay, so that is it. Rexy versus, Sue. They fight. Build, armor, speed, stamina, agility, intelligence, bite force, which is just bite. And we got weapons, weapons, feats, and experience. Which Rexy wins, which Rexy has armor, speed, stamina, intelligence, weapons, and feats, and experience. I think I might have already said experience, I don't know. While Sue has build, agility, intelligence, bite, weapon. And yeah. And I feel like Sue would win because of mainly her agility, bite force, and intelligence. And maybe build, because weight is somewhat important here. And I feel like Sue would be like a hard difficulty, not like insane difficulty, because Rexy, I don't think she would have a strong enough bite to actually hurt her much. But I do sense that Rexy would be somewhat of a tough opponent, being able to, like, as long as Rexy doesn't really get bit, like, because I feel like Rexy would shrug off some attacks. Like, maybe a well-placed bite to the neck, body, or tail might hurt her. But, like, at the same time, Rexy's just, shrugging off attacks. So I feel like it would be somewhere between medium and hard difficulty. Because I know it definitely would not be an easy fight, because there's no way I'm about to call a T-Rex with insane feats easy to defeat. Do you agree with me? Or who do you think should have won, and who do you think should have won in different categories?